Hey everybody, I want to do this video. Obviously, there's a lot going on right now. A lot of people are talking about did China create the coronavirus? And today, March 30th, there was this headline about someone from China who came through the Detroit airport here and had vials labeled antibodies in his luggage, and what they were found to be, or what they believed to be, it seems, is they were actually MERS and SARS. And one thing when I'm looking at news is what's the source, right? So here's an actual document from the FBI. It's not just, oh, an anonymous source or somebody heard this about so-and-so, because those kinds of things, we have to be careful listening to those. So this is from an FBI report, and it's talking about the scientist who got caught November 2018, which is about, like they said here, a year before the first coronavirus case was in Wuhan, with these deadly viruses in their luggage. So now this isn't proving that the coronavirus is out of China, but what is someone doing over here with vials of deadly diseases, viruses in their luggage? That's a bit strange, right? And with the antibodies, so to speak. So we do know this has happened. Also, we could assume this could have happened with other viruses or other scenarios in the US that the people were not caught. This person was caught. Now, we also don't know, did they have an intent to release them or whatever, right? We don't know that. Did someone release it? We don't know, but it's a bit odd in the percentage-wise small amount of coronavirus cases that we have people who are, government officials, high-level government officials, celebrities, etc., getting the coronavirus. And those people are usually pretty isolated when we're looking at the whole world, when we're looking at even the U.S. Tom Hanks, right? Say he has the coronavirus, him and his wife. They were filming in Australia. Well, did they go through China? We don't really know. How did they get it? The celebrities are pretty isolated. It's a bit odd. So, again, it's not proof that the coronavirus was brought here by China and officially released in the US, but it's a little suspect, so it's a point against them. Let's put it that way. Also, you've probably seen this on the news. This is justice.gov, not some weird website or something. Department of Justice talking about a doctor from Harvard who was working in Wuhan, a chemistry professor, and he was paid about $50,000 a month and about $1.5 million. Just highlight this here, to establish a lab, and he got caught for lying. If he wasn't doing anything bad, why would he lie? Maybe just because he was getting extra money, right? Again, it doesn't prove the coronavirus is out of China. We also have the other people found here. Yi is a lieutenant of the Army, but came here on an application saying they were a student, and they got caught also lying to federal officers. You can see here, federal officers interviewed Yi at Boston's Logan International Airport. She claimed she had no contact with, you can see here, while she was studying at Boston University. Can't highlight this for some reason. Here, she was completing assignments and conducting research, assessing U.S. military websites, sending U.S. information to China. So she lied to officials. I had a friend who was a hacker who then got hired by the FBI and would find people in the U.S. leaking information to China, being paid off by China. And the third person in this article, Zhang entered the U.S. on a J-1 visa conducting cancer cell research, and he had the charge of false, fictitious, fraudulent statements, up to 5 years in prison, because He lied to officers about the contents in his luggage. He had vials inside a sock in one of his bags. So that's also a bit suspect as well. There's been some weird things that have happened. There's a lot more stories like this, but we have to look into it. And again, this is not a surefire thing. Logically, it does not follow that China created the coronavirus. We could also ask the question, if they did create the coronavirus, why would they release it in their own country? To throw us off? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was an accident that it was shared. Maybe it was supposed to be more powerful, less powerful. Again, I'm not taking a hardline stance here. I'm just giving you views to assess that it could be kind of likely this did not come from a bat or whatever they're saying. It still could have, but we also have to admit that there's been some conspiracy, some espionage type things going on. We've got a guy who got caught a little over a year ago with deadly viruses in his luggage. It's a little strange. What was a good reason to be doing that? I don't know, right? Maybe it was just to bring things over here, do some, I don't know, honestly, I can't think of like a great reason why they would be doing something like that. And then we have Zhang here with, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, 21 vials of biological research. Trying to take them out of the U.S. and take them to China. So again, we don't fully know, but I know some people and they're just like, just a virus, just a disease, no big deal. It may not be so simple. And there's also a lot of, you've probably seen, I don't even need to pull it up, but I will, the Wuhan, what was it? Biology lab that was right outside of Wuhan, the high level see what Google gives us here. Lunn Institute of Virology, just right outside the city. You can go look up the addresses and all that if you want to. Probably heard about this, and all the investigations going on and everything. Okay, so you see here it says the institute was rumored as a source of the coronavirus outbreak, bioweapon research. There's nothing conclusive yet, or at least that we know, but people should consider that this is not just a simple virus. Could be worse. Maybe it was supposed to be more deadly. We don't know, right? There's also the crazy story about Dean Koontz writing this Eyes of Darkness novel. And basically, apparently he originally wrote it, and it was Russia. They created a virus that was supposed to kill everybody, 100% death rate. And then allegedly in '89, the story was rewritten because Russia became non-communist, so it got switched to being called. And here you can see Wuhan 400, right? So, do I think this guy can predict the future here? No, but potentially someone did this and based it around this novel. There's a lot of possibilities. Russia hasn't had that many cases. Maybe it's Russia, right? We don't know. To create a war between China and the U.S. The U.S. could have let it out to make it look like China. I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't think this is just as simple as a normal virus. We know that China has done some spying on us, some transferring information. We got this guy traveling with killer viruses in his luggage, which is a little bit strange. So at least consider the fact that this could be man-made. It could be from China. And do more research. Let's all do more research and see what we can find, because this is creating a huge problem. The markets are tanking. People are losing their jobs. Some conspiracy theorists think it's big bankers who want to tank the markets and buy everything up. I don't know. But as far as the question of, is this intentional out of China, there are things pointing in that direction. It's not just so simple as, some bats in Wuhan at a food market. So do your own research. This is what I've seen, and I've researched this even more than I'm explaining right now. But to answer that question, this is kind of what we need to assess. And with this headline coming across today, which seems to be new news from a while ago, over a year ago, which would have been nice to know, we've got to ask, why are they sending people over here with viruses? Who have we not caught that could be doing it? And what's their intention to bring these things over? All right, that's it for now, and have a good night.